They say Jamaica sweet, but blood run bitter in Montego Bay. Behind the laughter, the beaches and the flashing lights of the tourist capital, there is a darkness few dare to talk about, a darkness born from blood, obeah, and men who believe they cannot die. This is the story of Detective Ricardo James, and the night he discovered that some battles are fought not with guns, but with spirits. The rumors started small. Whispers in the streets, hushed voices passing quickly as someone walked by.
Boss, we shoot him 3 times and him still stand up. The man they walk through bullets like rain.
At first, Ricardo laughed it off. Police don't deal in duppy talk, he told himself. But then the calls started coming in, shootings that left criminals unscathed. Stories too consistent to ignore. One evening in Norwood, 5 men were ambushed by gunfire. Bullets riddled the zinc fences. Shattered glass sprayed into the street. Yet all 5 men walked away untouched. Nothing hit them. No blood, no injury, just calm, calculating men brushing dust off their clothes as if nothing had happened. Another night in Flanker. A notorious gang leader was shot 3 times in the chest at point-blank range. Witnesses swore they saw blood soaking through his shirt. But minutes later, he stood up, smiling. He turned to the terrified onlookers and said chillingly,
The spirit stronger than gun.
The community whispered one word, obeah. Ricardo still didn't believe it. Not until the raid. It was late, near midnight. The air thick with humidity. The smell of salt and diesel mixing from the harbor, streetlights flickering like dying fireflies. Ricardo and his team approached a rundown house in Ironshore, a place that locals avoided after sundown. The walls were streaked with soot, the door hanging on one hinge, swinging slightly with every breeze. Inside, candles burned in a circle on the floor, their wax pooling like blood. Strange symbols were etched into the wooden walls, some in chalk, some carved deep. The air was heavy, almost suffocating, and in the center, surrounded by the ritualistic circle, was the gang leader from Flanker, the one who had survived 3 bullets. He looked different here. Calm, his eyes unnervingly bright, almost glowing in the candle light.
Ricardo James,
He said, voice soft, but carrying authority that made even the hardened detective flinch.
I tell you, I'm protected. Blood protect me.
Ricardo felt a chill run down his spine. He reached for his gun, but something in the air told him it would be useless. The hairs on his neck stood on end, and the usual confidence he carried as a law enforcer faltered. The raid erupted in chaos, not with gunfire, but with the unseen. Shadows moved against the walls. Candles extinguished and reignited on their own. Ricardo's team shouted, charging forward, only to be repelled by an invisible force. Men flew across the room as if struck by hands made of iron. One officer landed against the wall with a thud, groaning, while Ricardo himself stumbled back, heart racing, mind struggling to process what he had just seen. And then he heard it, a low chant, almost a whisper, carried by the wind through the cracked windows.
Blood stronger than metal, spirit stronger than man.
The words wrapped around him like chains. That night, Ricardo learned that the people of Montego Bay had known all along. Some men were untouchable, not because of wealth or influence or fear, but because of obeah, the dark art that bound blood and spirits together. He didn't sleep for 3 nights. In his dream, he saw the gang leader walking through fire, bullets bouncing off him, laughing. He heard the whispered warnings of the elders.
Don't be no afraid steal. Don't be no afraid gun.
Ricardo returned to the streets different now. He watched the shadows, noticed the symbols scrawled on the walls in abandoned lots, the candles burning in hidden corners. The way some men move without fear of death. He knew Montego Bay had secrets that law and order could not reach. And some battles, terrifying, unexplainable battles, could only be fought with knowledge the ordinary world dismissed. He began to study the patterns, talking to a few locals who believed in the old ways, the ones who whispered about blood rituals and protection, spales in market and churches and corners of the city. Every conversation, every lead, every story painted the same truth. Those protected by blood were walking beyond ordinary danger. Gunfire, knives, even brutal attacks they could survive all. And sometimes, as he walked home at night, he swore he could hear the faint chants again, drifting from the darkness.
Blood protect, the spirit strong.
Reminding him that in Montego Bay, not every fight ends in gunfire, and not every victory is for the living. Ricardo knew he had glimpsed the edge of something darker than crime, something beyond reason, where spirits were stronger than men and death itself could be cheated with the right blood, the right ritual, and the right obia. Montego Bay is a city that thrived in the daylight, but in the night, it belonged to forces he could neither arrest nor understand. And so he walked on, haunted, cautious, forever changed, knowing that is the shadows of the tourist paradise. Some battles were fought silently, invisibly, and some curses could never be broken.
Walk and live, dark and bumbuckler dead.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Thanks for watching.